and good afternoon from summer in the city in Vienna. A lot of parking places in front of the studio today, and I on air. For me, it's a long time that I have been on air. I have quite a tricky subject today, which is about trash. And I think this video clip you're still watching now says a lot about the ambiguity of trash. It's a difficult topic. It is evading my hands. It's slipping out of my hands as soon as I start talking about it. And I had my doubts whether I should talk about this very complex word, which is also, you can say trash, you can say rubbish, waste, and garbage. It always means a little bit, has a little bit of different meaning. I want to start with a little story that happened to me this week. Usually every morning I am walking out my girls, Sophie and Fanny, and on my way back I found on the street a little dead bat. It was a real sad thing to see. I think I can show you this one, and I hate roadkill. I hate to leave animals in the street, lying there, and either they get collected by the waste removal services, or they are just overrun by cars. And it's a sad thing to see here. You see the little animal I saw lying there. And what I did, you see, this can either become trash if they remove it and put it into a big container and then shred it or burn it whatsoever. So I took it back home and I buried it in my little yard. And I thought, this is a very, it shows how difficult it is to deal with the word trash. I have in the title this clean versus dirty. Also, this is a very ambiguous antagonism. I mean, is it really one? Because nowadays we are a lot confronted with this clean and dirty during this pandemic situation. And I asked myself whether I'm a clean or I am a dirty person, and I am both. I am taking showers every day. Not only one, maybe two. And I clean my stove before I eat because I hate fatty spots. I pick up breadcrumbs from the floor. My friends get crazy when I do like this. Even when I clean the kitchen, when the food is already on the table. So, difficult. On the other hand, if it comes to salad, fruits, I don't wash them, because my attitude is like, if this thing is, all dirty in somehow, then it's already grown into the peeling, and so if I wash it, it won't come off anyway. So you may think, what a person is she? And I don't mind a little bit of soil in salad or mushrooms. Why should I rinse them with water and destroy the texture and destroy the taste? So this, so far so good about me and trash, waste, garbage. And there is another story about this trash. It's about me, it's about the masks. Waste, garbage, dirtiness, it's all connected with the hygienic hypothesis we have been talking about for years and years now, discussing the origin of allergies that are increasing so much. So, the hygienic hypothesis says that we are disconnected from the soil, that we are having not enough contact with bacteria and viruses, and therefore our immune system is not able to grow up accordingly. There is a study that was performed already quite decades ago, 2 or 3 decades ago in Eastern Germany, where it showed that those kids who grow up within a farmhouses, where the stables are close to the kitchen, and the kids move in and out and are exposed to different species of bacteria, that they suffer from less allergies than those ones in cities that are more or less not having this exposure. Not due to their fault, but because of our environment getting more and more sealed off with asphalt, and building is flourishing, thriving. So there is little place, only small areas where kids are confronted with real soil, and then mothers get hysterical if they have dirty hands or things like this, and they start cleaning immediately. And these are all things that have been connected with the problem of allergies. So now, while we are still in this environment of pandemic and masks and vaccines and disinfectants, this hypothesis seems to have disappeared from the surface. Nobody is talking about allergies anymore. Nobody is talking about these issues. So I asked myself, was it wrong to have this hypothesis as one of the main causes for allergies, or did we just push it aside because it doesn't fit into our concept? Another approach to trash is, I was talking with Harry before I did this one last week, before I do this now, and I told him I will do a stream, a vlog on trash. He said, what about publication, about media? I said, no, but you see the association. We are talking about trashy publications. Trash is used in many ways. People call themselves trashy or belonging to a trashy community because they think they are different. So this has a very, very different meaning here, the word trash. And like this, it continues. And this oscillation really messed up. But anyway, I think it's worthwhile to think about it because it is so essential. There are people around. Poverty is living on trash. The people collect trash and it is of value for them. Other people, well off, they throw things away and don't consider that this is of value, whether it's cans or bottles or metal pieces or old laptops. You know how the garbage areas look in the so-called developing countries in Africa, where we transport our trash to. We sell even trash. Trash is a commodity. All these things are in my head when I talk about trash. And this talk will not have an end. It will be inconclusive. I only have another memory. I have been traveling a lot, you know that by now, and I have been in Zanzibar in the 90s. It's an island in the Indian Ocean, I think. I hope I'm not wrong. You travel there from Tanzania, and it's at least at this time it was a very poor place. And believe me, there was no trash at all. No cans, no bottles, not even pieces of clothes lying around or when discarded, nothing. They used everything. Children played with balls made out of little shreds from clothes. So we call this in Austria Fetzenlaberl. Fetzen is a little piece of cloth, and you just pull it together and take a thread and zack, like this you play. The other contrast was Beirut. I was working in Beirut during the civil war in the mid-80s or beginning of the 80s, mid-80s, and there was trash all over the place. People did not care. They threw out everything. There was no organized system to remove garbage and waste. And, as I observed that during those years I have been there, the economic situation became worse and worse. The Lebanese pound was worth nothing. But it was not that worse as it is today, where the banks are closed and the country is completely down, flat. But during these days in Beirut, you realized that the garbage around us became less, and less. This is how trash tells you a lot about the society, about the culture, about the community. Even if you analyze trash, you only have to walk to open the bin of your neighbor and look at the trash, and you will see how they live. This sounds drastic, but it says a lot who we are, how we live, and therefore I think trash is a very, very interesting word, and it's worthwhile to analyze trash because it can tell us more about us than we think. And do I have another? I could talk about this, I think, hours and hours, because it's also about philosophy. What is garbage? What is trash? What is waste? And we know that we are throwing out far too many things. And we can talk about expiry dates. How many people open their fridge, look at the date, and throw things out because the expiry date was already reached. They don't even check if the things are still good good and we can eat them. So we throw away so many things others could live on, and maybe it's good that we do so because others who have nothing, who are homeless, can open these bins and get something to eat. It's sad, but it's maybe at least something for them. So I think it's a world that, if you talk about and think about this, you see what it means to be in a wealthy society, you see what it means to live in poverty. If you look at poverty, wherever I have been on this world, poverty on the fringes of a city looks always the same. You will not be able to say where you are, whether you are in Cairo, whether you are in Vienna, whether you are some place in Africa. Poverty is bringing about a kind of a messy, trashy, under quotation marks, environment. And I think we should be very, very attentive if it comes to this, if we throw things out. I know that myself, I'm sometimes very careless because I'm simply fed up. I think I throw it out, I don't want to have it anymore, even though I knew if I did differently, somebody can use it and it can add something to his or her life or to the family. So I have another aspect that is a little bit weird. I also have movies about the beauty of trash. And this is the end, because this is probably a little bit absurd if you look at trash from an aesthetic viewpoint. And here we go. This is definitely not an ugly picture, even though it's trash. I took this in the energy lab on Kailua Kona. It was a pipe that was cut, and people just threw things inside. And you see, if you start to analyze this little area, you can find out a lot about what people are using, what they are doing, how they behave, and how their life looks like. So I end with this now, because we can talk about trash and we can discuss about it. Maybe you are ready to give me your idea about it, because I think it's worthwhile. And we should think about it, because we need trash, we need the soil, we need the bacteria, we need the viruses, we need all this to be healthy beings. And this applies only to the humans, it applies to all living beings, because we are entangled with nature, and this has to be. If we disconnect ourselves, I'm sorry to say that, our life can be very miserable and become very miserable. And this is the end. Maybe you think again about immunity, about your immune system and about beast milk, because it's one of the few substances that immunity, and it's far better than all kind of supplements that your cells get tired of when you bombard them with them every day. So take part in our project. You get 5 boosters for free. It's called Beast Booster Experience Project. If you send us your wish that we send it to you, send us your address, and you get all the information you need to participate. Okay, and at the end, my settle, likes, dislikes, questions, whatsoever you like, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'm happy to see you in my Beast Meat world. I will launch my new website very soon. So thank you for listening, and goodbye. Eye on air soon again. Bye-bye.